Hey guys, Bala here. Message 3. I'm still with Dr. Raghu. I think I have to brand this, walk with the doctor or something like that. I think if I'm like doing this as opposed to me just talking to the mic and just being all by myself. It's good to have a friend walking next to you and then having a discussion about running. Anyway, so let's go into the message 3, February 6th, 2021. And I'll hand it over to my friend here, and he had one more question for the week. You can catch it in the middle.
So Bala, actually, I'm actually getting fired up now. I think my brain is starting to fire some really interesting questions.
Yeah.
So here we are. Actually, I listened to your controlled runs last week. You mentioned about the controlled runs, like the controlled base pace run, the reverse split, the progressive reverse split, and whatnot. So many beautiful details were given. So now that we know the theoretical aspects of this controlled run, my question is, how do you go about executing this controlled run, Bala? That seems to be always kind of mind-boggling, and can you please shed some light on that, please?
Sure. So yeah, that's right. You're right. We are in that phase of our training journey right now. It's about control, right? Last weekend I gave a message. So the idea of control is what? Step back. Why am I asking you to do control runs? Because at the end of the day, endurance training or endurance run, the final day, half marathon or a 10K or whatever is your long distance goal, full marathon, endurance run during the last day and long runs as we move to the next phase of training is not just about your muscular strength, not just about your cardiovascular strength, but it is also about how you are utilizing the resources that you have to extend it to a large over a long period of time, right? And the resources that you have is what? Your energy levels. So you want to make sure that the energy that you have in your body, whether it is because of food, nutrition, strength, everything, you are able to release that energy so that slow and steady flow of energy is happening so that you're able to deliver a similar performance right through the run. That's the idea, right? It's about performance now. It's not just about running very fast first 5 miles and then the bottom is gone, dropped off. You don't have any energy and then you just walk it out, and then overall when you look at the run it looks a lot worse than what it would look like. Forget about your splits and other things. That's not something I'm really bothered about. But what I'm bothered about is how you enjoyed the run. Think about yourself that when you cross the finish line, the last 4 miles you're begging for the race to get over. And then once the race is over, you are not even able to walk to your car. Think about how that scenario. By the way, that was my scenario for the first 6 years of my running career myself, because I was not able to control myself. I didn't know how to control the release of the energy I had.
There was no Bala for you, Bala.
Oh, I know. There was no Bala for me. Exactly. So every time I finish a run, like a race, a full marathon especially, I will finish it and I was destroyed, completely destroyed. And I don't remember the last 6, 7, 8 miles of my race because I was just in so much pain, so much exhaustion. So the idea here, control is not just about finishing at a much better performance, but also enjoying what you're doing. That's really what we're trying to do here, right? So that's why I'm asking you for control. So now Raghu asked a very pertinent question. Okay, it's all theory. How do I execute it, right? That's why I gave you 3 or 4 levels of control. Level 1 is about just making sure that the first mile is the slowest mile. That was level 1. Level 2 is to make sure that the first half of your run is a lot slower than the second half of your run. Level 3 was to make sure that every mile is slightly faster than the previous mile. So that is what is called progressive reverse split. Second one is called as reverse split. That means first half is slower than the second half is called reverse split, and every mile slowly getting faster is progressive reverse splits. And then finally there is something called stacked progressive reverse split. We'll talk about it later on. But then let's talk about the first one. If you nail the first one, then you can go to the second one. If you can't nail the first one, going to the second one or the third one is pointless. Unless you nail the first one, you can't go to the second one. That's the execution tip I can give you. So what do you mean by nailing the first one? Running first mile the slowest. That means It might sound easy, but it is the most difficult thing.
Totally.
Because you have all the energy. To control your energy to such a way that you run really slow is hard. Because you think that you are wasting your time. So the first mile, managing to run the first mile really slow requires a certain amount of mental sort of control. Hey guys, yeah, sorry we got disconnected. This is the first time we're doing with snow around, a lot of ice, and a lot of inquisitive neighbors because you can see my dog here.
Too many distractions, guys.
Too many distractions, phone falling down. But you know what? That's the fun, right? Still we're doing it. I hope the message is more important than the delivery mechanism here. But we're trying it out. But I'm enjoying doing this. So I hope you guys
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Sorry for the technical glitch, guys. It's my fault.
So coming back to what I was saying, controlling the first mile is not as easy as it sounds. So every run, especially base pace run, the way you control your run is...
Here are some runners. Hi.
Yeah. So my coach used to say that the way you control your first mile is start the run slow, and after a minute, run slower than that. So you start the run thinking I'm going to run slow, and then 1 minute later, you know already what pace you're running, run slower than that. So it's essentially the basic idea is your body, when you think, it's a mind game, right? Mentally you tell your body that I want to start running slow, you will start off. But because your body has got so much of energy, before you realize you're beginning to run faster. So that is why that 1 minute course correction is required. So after 1 minute, you go even slower. That is how you nail the first mile slowest. Okay, you do that in long runs, in full marathons. I've even done this, and my coach is okay with that. I don't mind you guys doing that too, which is I run, I have the mile distance run. So around 0.8 mile, I look at my split, and let's say I want to do 12.5 minutes, and I look at a split and it's showing 11:30. I shut it down and start walking. I literally walk till the first mile. So that I get enough rest for mile 1. I'm not utilizing anything. My heart rate is back to normal. I do that for the first 5-6 miles. That is also okay to ensure that the first, especially when you're doing long runs, 7, 8, 9, 10, how you deliver the first 2-3 miles tactically, like what I'm just telling you, is going to significantly impact how you deliver the last 2-3 miles. So that's the first sort of tip I would give you on the level 1. Level 2, first half and the second half. So the first half, all this will come into existence when the run is longer than 6 miles. Because after 6 miles only the real long run starts off. 7 miles, 8 mile run. So you got to think about it. My first half is 3 miles. Okay. You should have a goal. My normal pace, at my normal CP pace for 3 miles is, let us say, 10 minutes a mile. 30 minutes is my normal pace. Okay. So, or in other words, my first half I should do 35 minutes, second half I should do 30 minutes, something like that. You should have a goal that is 5 minutes slower than your regular pace. Basically, that's my point. And that should be a goal. When you're running, it is not a 6 mile run anymore. It's a 3 mile run for you. Okay? That's how you should think. Mentally, it's a 3 mile run, and you're trying to hit the 35 minutes, which is 5 minutes slower than your normal pace for the first half. That is how you control the reverse split thing. And when you do this again and again, you will realize as you enter the second half, you get a lot more energy when you enter the second half, and then go from there. The third tip I want to give you though is, what do you do when the last part of your miles are coming, when you have to give it big? That is when you test out. Initially you will test it out. You will say at mile 8, let me go all out. And when you go all out, you realize that after mile 8.5, you are not able to go all out. Your energy levels are not there. You cannot go all out. That just tells you that the pot is getting empty. There is no water in the pot. For you, even though mentally you are ready to go all out, you are not able to go all out. That just tells you, okay, I need to now train better. I need to control the flow of water from the pot in the first half of the run, so that some more water is remaining in the pot in the last part of my part. And then next run, when you do that, you manage the first half accordingly. This is the experimentation you got to do, guys, in long run. So there's a lot of mental game here. There's a lot of mental game here. The first part of that is understanding your body, right? That is what control is all about. And that is where you're taking it to the next level. Understanding your body with a mission and vision, and delivering it one step at a time. Thank you for a fantastic question, Raghu.
Thank you, Bala. Thank you, runners.
Thank you for a fantastic question. I'm going to also release the next podcast. I'm also going to release the next podcast right after this. It's a very interesting podcast with 3 lovely guests, which I don't want to say right now. I just recorded yesterday night. I'm super excited to share it with you. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the podcast. See you guys. Keep running next week. Thank you, Raghu, for the lovely introduction of this format.
Thank you, Bala, and really happy to be here, and good luck, runners. Thank you. See you soon.
Thanks a lot.